What happened to hip hop? Is this just a normal ebb and flow? Or is hip hop in trouble right now? Not a lot of big stars, not a lot of big songs. They say for the first time in 35 years, there are no rap songs in the top 40 of the Hot 100. Not one. Now, the song that had been holding on was Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA, but it got removed under the chart's new recurrent rules after 26 weeks without reaching a higher peak. Then they just kind of phased it out, saying, okay, this song is basically dead. It's just kind of sitting there, so they kind of move it out. But they said that rap was most dominant around 2020, but they say its commercial hold is softening over the last couple of years. And so people are getting a little bit worried. Some of the albums that are coming out just don't seem to be hitting. Didn't Cardi B just come out with a new album?
She did.
Where's all those songs?
Am I the drama?
Yes, you are.
Title.
So I guess none of those are hitting the top 40 of the Hot 100. So Cardi B's not charting. I know we're expecting more music that is going to be coming out. Nicki Minaj, right, has got an album that supposedly she's now going to be releasing.
After her and Jay-Z probably had a little talk.
Yeah.
He's probably like, you are releasing the album. Stop talking out of the wrong end of your body.
Right.
And get it together.
Yeah.
I got money on the line, girl.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious if this is just, look, sometimes music is cyclical too, where you will see sometimes country, for instance, is just all over the place. And
I feel like it is right now. Country's like hot.
Yeah, and so maybe that's what's taken up some of the chart with the Morgan Wallens and Post Malones and stuff like that.
But here's a problem. Some people are calling country not country no more.
It has, yeah. I mean, it is. It's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And, you know, you got your Shaboozies and all those kind of things that
It's
are
poppy country.
Right,
pop,
it is.
It's pop with a twang. These
Yeah.
are pop songs that they're writing.
And there's less and less twang in a lot of it.
There's a less and less twang.
You might hear the undertones of a steel guitar, and that's about it in some of these songs. So, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's because country right now seems to be riding high. Or is it what Snoop Dogg and some of those other MCs that are older were saying about today's hip-hop, that they are not noticing any kind of style differences from one MC to the other, that to them, it all kind of sounds the same. The other thing that I would say as well, if we don't have any hip-hop songs in the top 40 of the Hot 100 right now for the first time in 35 years, the one thing in my era when I loved hip-hop the most, those were pop songs with hooks. They had a great beat to it. They had a great melody. You had hip-hop, and then you had a singing chorus, and it was a poppy kind of song. I don't know that the songs, at least the ones I'm hearing my son playing, he's 17 years old, and he plays the hip-hop. I'm like, where's the hook? Where's the chorus? There is none.
There's one word you really zoned in on that I think is missing with a few genres: melodic, melody. I mean, melody is so important to a song. At least in my opinion, it is. And if you have a song that repeats halfway through the same chorus over and over and it doesn't change, I'm sorry. Now you're listening to a little kid song.
Yeah, that's my tone, but somebody my age should be saying that. In fact, I asked, what was the best era for hip-hop? Where is your vote between the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and I'll even throw in 2010s to now. So you'll get 15 years of hip-hop in one era. What is your number one, Bird?
90s.
Virginia?
80s.
Okay. I'm with Bird. I'm going 90s. I think that was the best era because that was really the era of samples. And now they did it in the 80s, but I think they were just trying things out in the 80s. I think they got really good at it in the 90s. There were so many great songs. I think Your Ice Ice Baby kind of started off the decade in 1990 with that song, and that really kind of embodied the decade.
Well, you had, Bone Thugs and Harmony doing all kind of melodic stuff. You had a bunch of different
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, they were launching, Tupac.
That entire from anything from Death Row and Snoop was amazing.
That was the era. Yeah, and it really was taken over. And 63% of the people on KBJ TV said, yep, the 90s best era for hip hop, followed by the 2000s with 20%. The 80s got 17%. Nobody's voting for the 2010s to now, which kind of brings me to my question. And look, I understand we're maybe pulling the wrong audience. And my son would be like, what are you talking about? This is the best era for hip hop. This is the best it's ever been.
You're an idiot.
I'm sure that would be his take, but I'm just saying right now the top 40 charts aren't saying that. There's just no hip hop songs at all on it.
Daddy's got the numbers to back up his argument.
I got a strong argument.
That is a strong argument. If you don't have the numbers to back up your argument, you can't say it's now.
Where are the hits? That's the big question. And look, record labels pay attention to this.
I want to hear you argue this out with your son. I like it.
I don't.
Spirited debate.
There's too much argument going. I
don't think my son would argue. I think he'd be like, I don't even think he would engage.
It'd be terrible radio.
I don't think he would look up from his phone. It would look like everything. I'm just barking at him. And then in my era, the hip hop was better. He's just looking at his
Vanilla
phone.
Ice.
Yeah, he's not even. He's like, he ain't taking the bait. He doesn't even hear me.
It would turn into an awkward radio segment.
Yeah.